From San Marcos, Texas, it's Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN+. Head coach G.J. Kinney's Texas State Bobcats look to keep their bowl hopes alive as they take on upset-minded ULM. The Warhawks will have their hands full against a loaded Bobcat offense that's coming off its fourth 40-point game of the season. It's ULM and Texas State in a West Division showdown, and kickoff is coming up next. Good afternoon and welcome to UFCU Stadium. Alongside Keith Moreland, I'm Brant Freeman. The Bobcats, for a second straight week, are playing with their backs against the wall, but you talk to Coach Kinney about that, and he feels as if they're in a good position as they play inspired football.
Yeah, they do play inspired football. Get to come home for their last two ball games. Defense has been the difference. Outstanding road victory at Southern Miss, and it was created what happened on the defensive side.
Taking a deeper dive into that game, Coach Kinney calls it complimentary football. The Bobcats offense got going, followed by big plays on defense.
Yeah, the big plays, there's no question. It starts with the quarterback, Brad Jackson. He is the guy that makes things happen. He finds a way to get into the end zone and get them on the board. Then the running game shows up as Lincoln Perry will find his way into the end zone just like that. But Southern Miss was not going to give up. They come right back down the field. They're trying to get involved in this game, and right down to score, they throw a pick. That pick turns into 6. And that is what the defense is trying to create some turnovers, get short fields. But if you can score on a pick, score on a pick.
The Bobcats with their first Sunbelt win of the season, handing the Golden Eagles their first Sunbelt loss. You talk more about this ULM team for head coach Brian Vincent. Started the season 3-1, but since then, 6 straight losses.
Yeah, they struggled. There's no question in conference play. At the beginning of the season, they had things going in their right direction, but they've just struggled. They have not played that complementary football you talked about. G.J. Kinney on the other side, he's had a team that was predicted to be second in the Sun Belt. Has been a struggle in the mid part of the season, but they can finish and get to a bowl game.
To do that, the Bobcats have to win out, winning tonight and again winning next week against South Alabama. But both games here at home at UFCU Stadium, and it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in San Marcos. 76 degrees outside. And what is the 22nd all-time meeting and perhaps the final one ever between ULM and Texas State?
Would you call this a Chamber of Commerce day? I would. This is just gorgeous. This is what Central Texas is supposed to be like in November.
We will see Texas State's offense on the field first as ULM kicks off to Texas State. Jacob Green handling kickoff duties here for the Warhawks. Bobcats playing for their third straight win of the series, and off we go here at UFCU Stadium. And the fair catch is made outside the 25-yard line by Titus Lyons. The Bobcats will come out on offense, and we talked a lot about him. Bobcat quarterback Brad Jackson having one of the best seasons in college football among FBS freshmen.
Yeah, in his first year to start, and look at that. Yes, there's 6 picks, 14 touchdowns, but the number that jumps off the page is that top one, 70% completion.
That number, in fact, ranks 10th in the country.
Yeah, he has been really good. Great decision-making, and he's a dual threat. He can move with his feet as well.
The first play of the game is a run for Lincoln Perry. And a good one across the 30-yard line, picks up about 5 yards. It's something we've seen from this Bobcat team. They've gotten out to great starts all year. They've scored touchdowns on the opening drive 5 times.
Yeah, those script plays, those ideas of what you want to do, and then you got Bo Sparks right there involved, which is closing in on 1,000 yards himself in receiving on the season.
That's only been done twice before in team history by one player. So Sparks, a chance at history himself here this afternoon. After the first down toss to Sparks, it's Perry again, this time gobbled up. Short gain. Kevontae Wells in on the tackle along with Cedrian Langston, and the Bobcats are looking at 2nd and 7.
Yeah, they don't want substitution. They'll go quickly. Defense has to stay on the field.
On 2nd down, little screen for Chris Dawn, and a great open field tackle is made out in space by Zy Jackson, and the Bobcats are looking at 3rd and long.
Yeah, Jackson does a great job. That's good film work, understanding the formation, saw it quickly, was running to the football before it was delivered.
Texas State, the second best third down offense in the Sun Belt as Jackson steps up. Jackson on the run will be stopped short of the first down. Tackled by Noah Flemings, and the Bobcats are looking at 4th down.
Yeah, It's 4th and a couple. It looks like that they may be punting the football away, and they are.
So no opening drive touchdown this time for Texas State. The drive stalls after picking up 1 first down. And that'll send out David Nunez. Hasn't punted a lot recently, just 4 times over the past 2 games. And back deep to return for the Warhawks is Jake Godfrey. And Godfrey, the fair catch in traffic. And ULM will come out on offense, an offense which has really struggled this season.
Yeah, they don't have an identity, and I think that's a lot of times for offenses to start to struggle is they haven't figured out exactly what they want to be. It still starts for me. If they want to have success here and come away with a victory, they got to be able to run the football.
Here's Aiden Armenta, the sophomore, second-year transfer to the program from New Mexico. And Keith was referencing completion percentage earlier. The 56% there for Armenta ranks as the 5th lowest among FBS quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's been under distress a lot when he goes back to throw the football.
Held at his 82 yards passing last week against South Alabama. A run play starts the afternoon for ULM, but a short gain for Zach Palmer-Smith. And ULM looking at 2nd and 9.
They're going to run a lot of RPOs. They will spread you out, and they'll also get it big body. You get that big formation. It looks like they got their big bodies in here, but they'll get in tight and try to run the football at you.
The Warhawks were held to under 200 yards of offense last week. They only ran 43 plays the entire game.
That's a real low number.
2nd and 9 for Armenta. Bobcats bringing a blitz. Armenta's pass is caught. And a little physical run there after the catch made by Hunter Herring. And ULM now looking at 3rd and long.
That's a real nice job of flying to the football. Pretty well designed play to the outside, and right at the beginning you thought you saw an opening where that might be able to get the first down. Instead, the defense collapses on it quickly, makes it a 3rd and long.
Herring, the catch, is also the backup quarterback for the Warhawks. Big frame at 6'5", 230. Able to churn out a couple of yards there. Setting up 3rd down and 7. Here's Armenta, steps up. Armenta flings out of the sidelines. The pass is caught by Nick Trujillo, and Trujillo's got it for the first down.
Boy, great hands right here. This ball had some zip on it as he gets outside the pocket. Nice job of getting his foot down inbounds and securing the football. This had some heat on it as he steps up, has options here, and he lets it go. I mean, that ball was ripped to him.
First and downs for ULM, opening drive of the game for an offense scoring under 16 points a game, 5th lowest in the country. But another good pass from Armenta, caught by J.P. Coulter, and ULM's offense picking up some rhythm right now.
They did, and you talk about staying in the box. As a quarterback, you've got to stay in the box. He gets absolutely blown up at the end of this play. And there is a Bobcat down on the field.
And that'll lead to a timeout here at UFCU Stadium. Early on here in the opening quarter, ULM's opening drive of the game has the Warhawks set up near midfield. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in San Marcos on ESPN+. Upset, the Bobcats plan to keep the bowl hopes alive. Keith, what does the game come down to?
Well, I think you for the Bobcats, they've got to put ULM in situations where they're not manageable on third down, and then on the other side, ULM's got to be able to stop Texas State's run. For the Bobcats on defense, they got to hit explosive play. On offense, hit explosive plays, and on defense, limit what we just saw, and not get some pressure on the quarterback.
Run here and stuffed coming out of the injury stoppage. First carry of the game for Braylon McReynolds. By the way, the player that got hurt was Amari Atwood and came off the field under his own power. Seems to be okay. And a huge tackle there in the trenches.
Tackles for losses are huge.
That's made by Kennard Snyder, the former ULM Warhawk. And there is McReynolds, who Coach Kenny called one of the best running backs in the Sun Belts. A first-year transfer out of South Alabama. Armenta's passes caught right around midfield. Will bring up third down after the catch is made by Jonathan Bibbs.
Right, he paid the price. Boy, he got hit on both sides, right up under the rib cage when he gets hit here. Boy, I tell you, as a player, that hurts. He got up and he's okay, but it makes it a little more manageable third down here.
Took a big shot there from Traylon Payne, the leading tackler on this Texas State team, and also Kamari Terrell into that stop. And Terrell was one of the players who was suspended following the post-game altercation a couple of weeks ago against Louisiana. Didn't play last week against Southern Miss. Back in the lineup here today. Third down, 8 to go. McReynolds, well short. It's Payne on the tackle at midfield, and that'll set up fourth down.
Really nice job right here of feathering this to the sidelines. They were trying to run, trying to catch the Bobcats sort of off schedule, and didn't do it, stayed at home, just feathered it to the outside and going to lead to a punt.
I talked about Traylon Payne and what a tackling machine he has been. Had a program record 24 tackles earlier this season against Marshall. And here's a punt from Mackenzie Ryan. Sparks lets it go behind him, and the ball will be down inside the 2-yard line. Well, Texas State will have a lot of real estate in front of them when we come back. No score here in the first quarter from UFC Stadium. Texas State on offense coming up after this on ESPN+. We asked Texas State head coach G.J. Kinney about his redshirt freshman quarterback Brad Jackson, and he said, look, that guy's just built different. I have so much confidence in him, and you can see why, Keith, putting up more than 300 yards of total offense per game, on pace to setting a program record.
Yeah, and it started from the very beginning of the year. You could see his confidence and he never got impatient. He doesn't force things in a ball game, and if he feels trouble, he has that ability to put it down and use his feet. We're talking about those numbers throwing the ball, but what makes him so difficult is he can get outside the pocket and make things happen.
Texas State starting at its own 3-yard line. And that run is stuffed and close to a safety. Warhawks thought they got it, but the officials are going to mark Perry down to the 1 on the tackle made by Kevontae Wells.
He just barely got that football out in front of the end line. They're going to mark it about the half-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised to see a pass here.
Well, that was awfully close.
It was really close.
And now in 2nd and 12, Perry again, a little bit more breathing room this time before he's spilled over at around the 3 by Cedrian Langston. And Texas State, 2 plays in, staring at 3rd and 10.
Now you get the defense ready here. This is almost like a sudden change. You would love to find something maybe on the outside. They've been showing pretty soft coverage. No press coverage. Off about 7 or 8 yards on both wide receivers.
Well, a huge opportunity here for the Warhawks to get off the field and set up a short field for ULM's offense. That's exactly what's going to happen here. As Perry is stuffed, gain maybe a yard. That's it. Jackson on the tackle, and Texas State's going to punt it away.
Now, just no room. You got to give credit to that front 7. For ULM, doing a nice job getting penetration, nowhere to move the football, and almost got a safety, and it's going to be a short field to punt in. Do you come after it, or do you set up a return? Should get position in Bobcat territory here.
And Nunez punting with his heels just outside of the back of the end zone and gets the punt away. Godfrey on the return to the 43. That's about it. Good open field special teams tackle there for Texas State, and ULM will take over in Bobcat territory when we come back. ULM's defense, pretty good start in this game. They've held the Bobcats scoreless through the first 2 possessions. We're back after this from San Marcos. the first quarter here at UFCU Stadium. The story of ULM season. A great start for the Warhawks, 3-1 through their first 4, but since then, a 6-game slide. Struggles on both sides of the football.
Yeah, you see, the one for me is the turnover margin. They were even in their first 4 ball games, -9 in the next 6.
Very similar story to what ULM went through a year ago when they started 5-1, 1 win away from bowl eligibility, and then lost their final 6 games. Bobcats defensively, stuff Palmer Smith. In fact, he's going to lose about a yard, and ULM looking at 2nd and 11.
His defensive front right now, offensive lineman down for ULM. Defensive front on both sides controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Right now, they are looking at Jay Mickle, who today is making his 23rd straight start at ULM. One of the veterans up front from Picayune, Mississippi.
Well, you hate to have those veteran guys down. And see if they can get him up and see what. You're not putting much weight on that left leg. Trying to get his balance.
Well, it's this time of year, Mick, when you hit Keith, when you hit November, that
No
your
doubt.
depth is really tested.
Yeah, you started this back in July, Brant, and you had contact through most of the month of August, and then contact happens only on the weekends. But 11th ball game of the year, there's nobody that feels 100% right now. Everybody say, well, we're healthy. Well, they're healthy with some dings, because you're going to be dinged up in game 11.
So Mickle comes off the field here for ULM. And just got caught in the pile there. After a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. ULM trying to capitalize off the short field, help created by the defense. It's a run. ULM wants to be a run-first team, but right now Texas State not give them a lot of room to run.
Yeah, the center of the defense is doing the job again. Just tried to do a trap underneath. There was nowhere to go. And now do you dial it up and try to come get him? That's what you're thinking on the defensive side. Is this 4-down territory on the other side? So that's all about what happens here on 3rd down.
For the year, ULM converting 3rd downs 31% of the time over the last 2 games, 1 for 22 on 3rd down.
Bobcats showing zone.
3rd and 12, a run up the middle, and the stop is made by Terrence Cooks around the 42 on the carry from Palmer Smith. And let's see if Brian Vincent is thinking 4-down territory.
He's bringing his punt team back out. They did an outstanding job pinning back the Bobcats on the last punt. I would watch for a fake here. I would think that the Bobcats, maybe in their normal defense, do not have a return team out there and watching for a fake.
The Australian-born Mackenzie Ryan does punt it. The fair catch from Sparks is made at the 6. So Texas State's last 2 possessions starting inside the 10-yard line. And they have the football for the 3rd time this afternoon. We saw a 1st down 2 plays into the game, Keith, but since then Texas State's offense hasn't done much.
Yeah, I just got a quick story to tell you. Greg Davis, longtime offensive coordinator across the country at Iowa and Texas and other places, used to say, as an offensive coordinator, when I took the ball over at the 7-yard line, I got a 7% chance to score. That's what field position does. If I take it over at the opponent's 7, I got a 93% chance of scoring. So it just tells you what field position means in this game.
On 1st down, that run will be stopped at around the 10. Texas State has run the ball on 1st down every series in the game. First carry of the afternoon for Greg Burrell.
They can't get that 1st down to get the hurry up going right now. They need that first down to initiate this high-speed offense.
ULM has had struggles stopping the run this season. But so far, up to the task this afternoon. Jackson to the air, slings that over the middle, but behind his intended target. at the 25-yard line, looking for Dawn, and Texas State now looking at 3rd down and 7.
Now the question on the other side is, they stay with the same personnel. Do they try to heat up Jackson, or they're going to rush 4 and drop 7?
3rd down and 7. Bobcats still looking for the first 3rd down conversion of the game. Motion for the tight end, Blake Smith. Whistles before the snap. And a false start coming up against the Bobcats.
Yeah, puts them further behind the chains here.
3rd down.
That was a run play. They were going to try to overload on a quarterback counter to the outside in early movement.
And that's the first penalty of the game. Texas State doesn't convert here. They're punting from the end zone again. Jackson flush out of the pocket and throws that away.
Sparks gets knocked down about the 23, 24-yard line, trying to come out of his route, but no call. Jackson was outside the pocket, only had one choice, to throw the ball out of bounds.
Well, how about ULM's defense to start this game?
Well, they've done a nice job taking away the running game. But the other part is their special units have backed up the Bobcats inside the 10 twice in a row now. They're going to get great field position again.
Back-to-back 3 and outs. Nunez with a rush coming. And Godfrey lets it go. And that'll be out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. All defense so far, no score between the Bobcats and Warhawks.
Yeah, but an excellent kick there. Now we'll back up ULM into their end of the field and see if they can get something going. Neither team in this first quarter have tried anything vertical so far. So everything's been in the running game or very short passes. So see if somebody might go play action and try to get vertically down the field.
Today, Aiden Armenta making his 18th career start at ULM, a record of 5-12. Operates here from his own 43. 3rd series of the day for the Warhawks. And on the play fake, Armenta over the middle, got a target inside the midfield. Rylan Green, the tight end, picks up 9.
Boy, Green made a nice catch, but he paid for that. He had his pins cut out from under him. You can see he gets up a little slowly, and he's going to stay in the game, but that hurt. But a really nice play-action play, got him out on the corner with no pressure.
It feels like Armenta's success has come when he's been on the move.
Running, you have 2 options here. You either go play action and go vertical because it's a 2nd and short, or you run and get the first down and reset. See what they decide to do.
Armenta has completed his first 5 passes of the game. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Palmer Smith stacked up, and he's short. Did not reach the first down.
Yeah, yes, that's a
This will bring
tackle
up
for
3rd and
loss
short.
in the backfield. Now there's a Bobcat down.
Tadarius Collins is down for Texas State. Collins is starting at the defensive end position in place of Tymier Jackson, who's serving the 2nd of a 2-game suspension following that post-game scuffle with the Ragin' Cajuns. And Jalation Landry, another defensive end, starter coming into the year, out with an injury, and now it's Collins down to the turf for Texas State.
Thin in that department, no question. May change your attitude. We've seen the Bobcats a little more 3 front than in these last 2 ball games than we've seen all year.
Collins will come off of the sidelines. So Texas State losing a defensive lineman for the moment. For defense that struggled to get after quarterbacks recently. No sacks over the last 2 games. And they are stopping the run this afternoon. ULM is trying to run the ball 7 times to show for it. They have -1 yard.
They got big bodies in the game here, a tight end and an H-back.
Third down and 2. A lot of movement. Atwood for Texas
It's
State.
be
Jumped
offsides,
across the
it's
line of
automatic
scrimmage.
first down. Got into the neutral zone.
Results of first down.
Offsides penalty. And a fresh set of downs now for the Warhawks.
Boy, get those first down via penalty. This is such a bonus.
Arminta hands it off. Herring. And a big frame of his for a yard at the 43-yard line.
That defensive line right now is controlling the line of scrimmage. And here comes ULM in a hurry up.
Blitz coming. Arminta harassed and sacked by Bobby Crosby. Crosby coming out of the safety blitz and drops Arminta for a loss back in ULM territory.
Trying to set up the screen to the wide side of the field, Brett, and it didn't work. He should have got it out of his hands, and Crosby coming from the backside. He had no idea he was coming. Tried to put it down, and huge loss here. Makes it 3rd and long.
Crosby more tackles this year than his first 2 seasons combined. G.J. Kenny saying he's playing his best football right now. And it'll be a hard loss for this team following his senior day next Saturday. And a timeout taken by Bryant Vincent, ULM's head coach.
Well, you look at the scenario of what's happening right now. Neither team has got a field offensively. They don't have any rhythm. Either team, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And because of that, right now it's going to be a scenario here in this timeout. I don't think they're going to try to vertically throw the football. Maybe a screen, drop something down and try to get half of it and then punt the football away.
ULM looking at 3rd down and 18, and that was the key to the game today for Texas State. And Coach Kenny put ULM in these unmanageable 3rd down situations.
You know, when you get in 3rd down, you can see the defense. There are 3 linemen. They're going to drop 8 in coverage, and there are 5 guys that are 20 yards off the ball right now. So everything's going to be underneath.
Arminta,
there's the screen.
Yep, swings it out to Dorian Lewis. Only able to reach the 46.
That's what we've had here in this first quarter. We played everything and Texas State into the field, but ULM has not been able to score any points in it. They keep getting in that deal and winning the field position game. Try to back them up again for the 3rd time of the ball game.
So far, Ryan's punted the ball well for ULM, pinning Texas State behind its own 10 his last 2 punts. This punt's not as effective as Sparks has a fair catch to the 16-yard line. Okay, the story of this game right now is ULM's defense holding this high-octane offense out of rhythm right now. How does Texas State get things going offensively?
First of all, they're going to start out at the 17. You say, well, that's not great field position. Well, it's better than the 3 and the 9. That's where they started the last 2 drives. So this will open things up. I think they will throw early downs here, try to get Jackson to get some rhythm. He just has not had a feel for it so far. He has not been on target.
The Bobcats just 25 yards of offense so far across 3 possessions. Jackson rolls out, throws to Perry to the sidelines, and Perry, a good first down play, out of bounds at the 24. 2nd down and short coming up.
I like getting Jackson out on the edge. He just seems so comfortable out there, and they're going to go hurry up right here.
On 2nd down, Chris Dawn, the catch, has some blocks, and Dawn with a first down. Short of the 35-yard line. Zy Jackson the tackle, and Texas State moves the chains. Now 1st down and 10. Jackson under duress, steps up and takes a shot. Hard hit. Noah Fleming's Jabari Tiller on the tackle Second down and 8.
Yeah, trying to run an RPO to throw that on the slant, but it had pressure so quickly he had to put it down and run it. And boy, he does pay the price at the end of it.
Bobcats coming into the game, 21st nationally in points, 12th in total offense. This catch made by Blake Smith, the tight end. Only his 8th catch of the year, what's been an injury-plagued season. Now to move the chains again.
Yeah, doing a nice job, just moving around, finding the soft spot in that zone, and turned upfield as soon as he caught the ball and got the first down.
There was the expectation the tight ends would be used more in the passing game coming into the year, but injuries have derailed that to a degree. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Texas State's offense now finding its rhythm. On the move with a 45. Jackson airing it out deep, looking for Dawn, and it's incomplete. Broken up there at the last moments on the play on defense. Jyron Esther in a 2nd and 10.
Esther does a great job. This is just wonderful coverage. Running with him, seeing the football, watch his right hand just come out and rake it out right there. It's his left hand, and rake the football out. Really good throw, great defense.
That's the first downfield shot we've seen of the game. Second and 10, and what could be the final play of the quarter. Jackson over the middle, a pass batted down, and almost picked. Diving for it was Flemings, and now Texas State staring at 3rd and long again.
Yeah, nice job up front. Can't get there. If you're a defensive lineman and you're making a move, you're watching the quarterback's eyes and get up, get your hands up, and when you see the ball come, knock it away, and almost was picked.
Jeremy Simmons got his hands on it there for ULM. Only a 3-man rush this time. Jackson completes with Sparks. Sparks on the run, and Sparks has the first down. Into the open field he goes. The moves a change to end the first quarter.
Yeah, really nice design right there. And Sparks comes all the way across the field, open, gets the first down. That's the quarter.
The first quarter in the books here in San Marcos. Texas State is on the move. They've got the football on the ULM territory. When we come back, Bobcats, Warhawks scoreless after 1. You're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. popular mascots in the Sun Belt. Boco the Bobcat having a good time on this Saturday afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Beautiful day for football. As we talk a little bit more about Texas State wideout Bo Sparks, 5th in the nation in receiving yards, and he's now eclipsed 1,000 for the year with that last catch, provided the Bobcats with a first down. As we start the second quarter, Blake Smith another catch on this drive and another first down for Texas State.
Well, really nice pass by Jackson out of the pocket, going back across his body. He had to go low with it. If he goes up, he's got a chance to be picked. Nice catch on the other end for the first down.
And so with that catch from Sparks in the first quarter, he is just the 3rd Bobcat ever to eclipse 1,000 yards receiving in his career. Patient running from Burrell, but then got pushed back. And limited
counter, got penetration.
Greg Burrell.
Did ULM, and when you get penetration, there was really nowhere to go with the football.
2nd down and 9 coming up for Texas State. This will mark the 10th play of the drive. Began back at their own 17. Best drive of the game for either team today. Jackson out to Sparks, and Sparks slung down. Another great tackle in the open field. This one made by Esther, and it's 3rd down and long.
But it was set up. There was this bubble screen on the outside. And if somehow Sparks can get through that tackle, he's going to score. Good open field play right there. Holds it to a 1-yard gain.
Texas State of the first quarter, 1 for 4 on 3rd down. So this 3rd and 8, ULM bringing a blitz. Jackson going downfield, and a flag flies. Multiple flags in as Sparks got tripped up. And this will be against ULM.
Well, he had a great route, and he was wide open. And when you're wide open like that, you're going to reach up and they're going to grab you, because it's better off to defend and get the penalty than give up the touchdown. And this is going to be a 15-yarder and an automatic first down in the red zone.
Carl Fontroy, the penalty there for ULM, and Texas State now in the red zone. The Bobcats have the best red zone offense in the Sun Belt, 22nd nationally. Operating for the 15. Jackson off the play fake, taking a shot at the end zone, and it falls incomplete, looking for the tight end Smith, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a little RPO, well designed, just didn't have enough time. The penetration didn't allow the route to finish. He had to throw it to Jackson before, his guy could make a move one way or the other, and he just had to get it out of his hand because of the penetration.
12th play of the drive coming up. So far, it's consumed about 4 minutes off the clock. ULM last week allowed South Alabama to hold on to the football for 37 minutes. 2nd and 10. Jackson on the quarterback draw. And to the 12 he goes, 3rd down and 7.
Another nice job of collapsing. It looked like he had a seam right here. You'll see it right here when this ball snapped, and he gets a chance at this right behind it right here. You think, oh, there's a seam right there, but boy, does it close quickly.
Bobcats need their 6th first down of the series to keep the drive going. Burrell in motion. Jackson to Sparks, and Sparks lassoed at the 13. Esther another play for ULM, and it's 4th down.
That's just great recognition. You do film work throughout the week, and you're thinking, well, what am I going to do out here? And boy, just a great recognition on the outside as he comes down and collapses on that from the outside and just takes it away.
And that'll bring out Tyler Robles, who has made 9 straight field goals. 16 for 18 this year, and that kick is good. And Texas State on top as they strike first. Bobcats score 3 following a 13-play drive on top of the Warhawks as they look to keep their bowl hopes alive on this Saturday afternoon in San Marcos. You're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN+. Texas State on top 3-0 over ULM. 14-play drive, 71 yards, took about 5 minutes off the clock. And the Bobcats are officially on the board. But credit ULM, Keith, the defense bends but doesn't break.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no question. You look at how this game's played. At this point of the game, ULM's got to be very happy. This game's being played like they want to play it. A very in-tight, close to the vest, defensive type football game. And, they're just not that explosive offensively where they can go out and put 40 points on the board. So they're getting the type of game they want right now. They're setting the tone.
After the try, Michael James kicks off for Texas State. And the fair catch called for and made by Lewis. ULM will start at the 25-yard line, trailing here 3-0. What have you seen so far from Aiden Armenta, who has completed all 6 of his passes for the Warhawks?
He's done a nice job. They haven't been able to get anything vertical. They've all been little horizontal passes. He has done a nice job in the middle and moving around. They haven't been able to get to the pressure that they want to create out of the Bobcats and make him get outside the pocket and maybe have to move to throw the football.
Armenta known for having a great deep ball. We have not seen him go vertical yet in this game. Bobcats bringing a blitz. Armenta well protected. Now the protection breaks down and Armenta cuts his losses and throws it away.
That was a 2-man route, and just great coverage on the back end by the Bobcats. And he must have hurt you, because that's what they were trying to do, is go vertical on a combination route. But great coverage on the back end. He had nowhere to go with the football, and no check down, because everybody was in the backfield.
And that's the first incomplete pass of the day for Armenta, who began his career at New Mexico, one of several Lobo transfers to the program, and that's where Brian Vincent was before taking over at ULM, as McReynolds is swallowed up for a loss, and the Warhawks looking at 3rd down and 13.
Now they're trying to run a little counter draw that time. You see the momentum will take you to the outside here, like they're going to wear away and then counter it back, but the penetration, the counter just wasn't there because of the penetration. Now it's 3rd and long.
Traylon Payne, DeVark Woods on the tackle for Texas State. And ULM staring at another 3rd and long, 3rd and 13. Trying to avoid a 3-and-outs. McReynolds into the backfield. Takes a swing pass, and McReynolds with the flag in. Out of bounds at his sideline.
I think this is going to be holding against, but I think they'll decline this penalty and force the punt. And I don't think you'll back him up anymore. So he's out of bounds. It'll be 4th and 13. They'll decline the penalty and punt the football away.
So a 3-and-out for the Warhawks. That's their second one of the day. And ULM will punt it to the Bobcats. But a tough offensive stretch for ULM. Held to 14 points last week. The only offensive touchdown they had was on the first play of the game, a 29-yard touchdown run by McReynolds, and the offense was shut out after that. Shut out so far in this game. Ryan with his 4th punt of the afternoon. And Sparks is going to return. Trying to reverse field. Sparks. And there's a flag. They might be a face mask here against ULM.
Get the call here. Anytime a returner changes direction.
Foul, blindside block. Return team, number 56. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, not a face mask, but a 15-yard penalty against Texas State. And we'll step aside. 10:43 left in the half. Bobcats on offense and leading the Warhawks 3-0 at UFCU Stadium. And welcome back to UFCU Stadium. Texas State on top, 3-0 over the Warhawks. Taking a look back at the penalty on special teams, Keith, this was called an illegal blindside block.
Yeah, and as you see at the very top of your screen right there, he just caught him a little bit from the side. A lot of that happens from when Sparks change directions. All of a sudden, you've got guys coming in a different direction. You thought you had him head on, instead he turns his back. And when that happens, it's going to cost you 15. And, boy, starting field position is still out at the 35. Now you're back inside the 20 at the 17.
Third penalty of the game against Texas State, and the Bobcats will start at their own 17-yard line. The average starting field position the Bobcats have had has been their own 14. ULM losing the game, but right now winning field position today. And Sparks makes that catch for a short pickup.
Yeah, it's hard to you got a lot of opportunity defensively to defend 86 yards.
Direct snap to Lincoln Perry. And Perry looking to break free, and he has yet to really get loose in this game. ULM has done a very good job defending the run.
Yeah, they have done that, but that was all Lincoln Perry. He was hit in the backfield, kept grinding, and got something out of nothing. Makes it a manageable third down.
Texas State on the ground so far, averaging less than 3 yards a carry. Third down and 3. 10 minutes to go here in the seconds. Texas State looking to piece together back-to-back scoring drives. Blitz is coming. Pass for Dawn is caught. Breaks a tackle. And Dawn still running. Able to stay on his feet. And Dawn finally brought down at the 40-yard line.
I think all 11 players for ULM had a shot at Dawn that time. And he actually gives up about 6 or 7 yards, but a great catch to start with. Breaks that tackle. There's 3 guys that have a shot at him. 4, 5, 6. Oh, he gets away again.
Quick snap after the first down conversion. It's Perry for about 4 yards to bring up second down and 6.
They just keep with this NASCAR offense right at the line of scrimmage. It just puts so much pressure on the defense. They have to get adjusted. They have to get lined up. And they're going to call time because it didn't come off the field, but they were adjusting Dawn's jersey, and it caused timeout to slow things down.
Perry again to the backfield. Last week surpassed 2,000 yards rushing in his Texas State career. On second down, Jackson rolls out, steps up, slings it, and it's caught. It's Dawn again. His second first down catch of the series.
Well, just outstanding blocking up front. Jackson had a chance to go through his complete progressions and then come back to Dawn. He was checking Dawn out first, right there, waited, and allowed him to come open. Great protection.
Last 2 games, Dawn has become a big play threat. 12 catches for over 200 yards and a couple of scores. Had a big 82-yard catch last week, longest play from scrimmage for the Bobcats this year. Sparks hauls it in. Esther on the tackle at the 37. It's 2nd and 5.
These corners are 7 or 8 yards off the ball. Because of that, just taking advantage. A little pitch and catch for 5 yards.
It's Perry. And he'll wind up about 2 yards short of the first down. 8th play of the drive coming up for Texas State.
Yeah, it's 4-down territory here. I would suspect this is going to be a run. They don't get it, they'll go for it on 4th down as jumbo package comes into the game here.
Brad Jackson so far, 13 of 18 passing for Texas State. Bobcats typically have been very explosive in first halves this year. They put up close to 200 first half points, only a field goal so far. Swing pass to Perry, and Perry down the sidelines he goes. Out of bounds, inside the red zone, and Texas State's got it at the 14-yard line.
Looks like it's lined up to be a running play, and you just swing Perry out into the flat. He does a great job right here turning the corner and getting it down in the red zone.
It's good for 20 yards. That's the longest passing play of the afternoon for Texas State. Now Jackson under center, bumbles it a bit, tosses it to Sparks, and this play was doomed from the start. You saw Jackson have issues taking a snap from under center, and everything was off schedule after that.
They're trying to run a pass play. Sparks is going to throw his first pass of his career. This was designed to go backwards, but there's no way. Jackson tried every way he could do. He did a shovel pass with both hands trying to get it there because he never had the ball, control the ball from the center, and it goes as a loss.
Loss of 4 yards, approaching 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I like the design, a little razzle-dazzle there, but I think they're going to have to take a timeout here.
And G.J. Kenny will spin the first of his 3 timeouts. A timeout taken by the Bobcats with under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. 2nd and 13 coming up for Texas State in the red zone, looking to build upon a 3-0 lead over the Warhawks. Texas State driving again, 10th play of the drive, coming up leading 3-0 and facing a ULM team which has struggled outside of Monroe. The Warhawks have lost 32 out of their last 35 road games.
Yeah, it's been difficult away from home over the last 4 or 5 years.
Big reason why ULM has failed to reach the postseason. Dump off here to Perry. And Perry out of bounds at around the 16 will bring up 3rd down and 10.
Trying to get a little RPO slant, but did a nice job taking that away. Jackson just had to check it down out to Perry. Really was no gain. And you can get a first down, but it's going to be difficult to do inside the 4-yard line to get a first down.
And ULM bringing in his pass rushing package here.
Substitutions on both sides. It's going to get tight on the play clock here.
Play clock down to 6 seconds here for Jackson. Looking at 3rd and 11. He's 6 for 6 in the drive so far. Jackson steps up on the run. Jackson throws that for Perry, and it's picked in the end zone. Intercepted by David Gotze.
Well, Gotze played this as well as you can play. Jackson buying time, spins to the outside. Perry comes out of the backfield on what is a wheel route, turns it upfield. As Perry, you see him come out of the backfield there, and then Jackson goes to the outside. He was trying to lay it over the top, just didn't get enough on it, and a really nice individual effort to come down with the pick.
That is the 7th interception of the year thrown by Jackson. And for ULM, the first interception for the defense since September 27th against Arkansas State.
That's It's the reason you can't win ball games. You just got to create turnovers to win games.
And that was the last game the Warhawks won, going on 2 months ago. But can ULM capitalize as they take over at the 20-yard line? Last drive ended on a 3-and-out for ULM.
This is going to be too much time. Going to have to take a timeout. When you substitute late, when you come off the field, gives the defense a chance to answer. And by the time Texas State can answer, it was too much time, so I had to use one of your timeouts right there. They're down to 1 now with 5:04 to go here in the half.
And Texas State on top here 3-0 over ULM. And again for the Bobcats hosting the Warhawks. They'll host South Alabama next week. The final 2 games of the regular season with the team needing to win out to get to a bowl game. The schedule could not have played out any better.
No, it couldn't play out any better. You played an awful lot in the month of October away from home and some difficult places to go play. But you got an opportunity to finish strong and put yourself in a position to qualify for a bowl.
Brian Vincent using his second timeout. 1st and 10. Armenta swings that out. And a nice pickup on 1st down for Dorian Lewis. Good for 7 yards.
And those big guys doing a great job out there blocking out in front. Nixon, the tight end, with a good block. Get him out into the flat. Good positive yardage. Still don't have to be in any kind of hurry up right now with 4:40 to go.
ULM just 44 yards of offense in the first half. They've only run 19 plays, and they're averaging about 2.5 yards a play. That's been it. Armenta with a flag in, swings that, and a broken tackle is made. And Bibbs breaks out of another tackle, and the play finally ends at around the 33.
Might be illegal formation. This might back them up here.
That is the call, illegal formation against the Warhawks. Their second penalty of the day.
Can't have 5 in the backfield.
And again, this is an offense that cannot afford to be playing behind the chains.
No, can't go backwards.
So after the flag, 2nd down and 8, 4 minutes to go in the half. Armenta is going to hand it off, and it is Palmer Smith to the 25. 3rd and 5 for the Warhawks coming up.
Running hard, but just nice job up front, just not letting it go. And a mass of people have him wrapped up. Just kept those legs moving to make it a manageable 3rd down here and a big one here.
J.P. Teeter, last tackle there for Texas State. Defense pitching a shutout so far in the game. As we wind closer to 3 minutes to go in the half. Can the Warhawks convert on 3rd down? They're 1 for 5 of the game. Armenta rolls and throws, and the pass is caught, and that's good for a 1st down.
Great awareness of where the 1st down needed to be. That's just a great job. He caught it maybe a little bit short, made sure he spun and got it across to get the 1st down.
Trujillo with the 2nd catch of the game. One of those transfers from New Mexico who was held without a catch last week against the Jaguars. In fact, 5 Warhawk players transferring in from Albuquerque. Where Brian Minson was an offensive coordinator. This offensive play doesn't yield anything for Palmer Smith. He'll lose a yard. Emma Palasi-Longi, and the tackle there for Texas State.
These defensive tackles in the rotation, there's about 4 or 5 of them that go in the rotation. They've all played extremely well here tonight. They have taken away the middle running game. They can take this to the 2-minute timeout if they want to.
And that's what's going to happen here. ULM showing no sense of urgency, and the next snap will come on the other side of the 2-minute timeout. Well, offense is coming at premium so far today with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. 3-0. Bobcats on top. ULM with the ball at its own 30-yard line. 3-zip Texas State on ESPN+. To go in the half, 3-0 Texas State coming up at halftime. We'll take a look at the Sunbelt Conference weekly award winners, offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the week. The Week 13 Sunbelt scoreboard. We'll look at the college football playoff rankings and bracket first half highlights and stats as well right here on ESPN+. So far in this game, only 3-run homer. That's been it. Second down and long. McReynolds spilled over at the 35, and ULM will look at 3rd down and 7 coming up. And Texas State, though, is going to call a timeout, try to preserve some time.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought they might do that as you see ULM go to the run right there. But a really nice run. There was a lot there, but he made a couple of nice moves. And this is a potential scoring play for somebody. I mean, if you get a first down here, it allows ULM to get into their hurry up and see if they can get down the field, albeit they have one timeout. Texas State has, if they get the stop, will have one timeout because they'll stop it if they run the ball here and it's short. They'll stop the clock.
Again,
save some time on that clock.
Yep, Aiden Arminta, the starting quarterback for the Warhawks, and ULM has had a history of some really good quarterbacks back in the day, back in their heyday in the 1AA days. Some of the names: Stan Humphries.
Oh, yeah.
Played at a couple of Super Bowls, winning one with Washington. Bubby Brister.
Yeah.
A couple of Super Bowl wins, backing up John Elway. And Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl as head coach of the Eagles.
That's exactly. You're right.
All former Warhawks. Doug Peterson was also a backup to Brett Favre when the Packers won the Super Bowl in 1996. 3rd down and 6 for ULM. Warhawks 2 of 6 on 3rd down today. Arminta off the play fake. Fires a pass and it's incomplete. Well, he had Julian Nixon, the tight end, The throw off target. Amarian Atwood breaks it up, and that'll send out the Warhawks punting unit.
Yeah, Brent, you did. You just look at it. He had him. It was a little RPO, and he had him. If he just leads him a little bit to the inside, that had a chance to get a big play right there. Instead, incompletion. Bobcats are going to get the ball back.
And Mackenzie Ryan has been busy today for ULM. Punts it away again. That ball will float to the 27, takes a ULM bounce, and Sparks gets out of harm's way, and the ball picked up at the 17.
There was a little contact with the punter on the other end. You saw both the umpire and the referee, Stephen Robinson, look at each other. Neither one went to their flag, so they both admit, I think if one had started to reach in their pocket, the other would have pulled it out.
That punt officially 48 yards from McKenzie. Texas State will set up shop at the 17-yard line. Minute 39 to go and 99 seconds left of the half. And the Bobcats have one timeout left. Jackson looking to go to the air, swings that to Perry. The catch on the run, and Perry out of bounds, short of the 20. Stops the clock with a minute 34 to go.
Now they're playing a two-deep zone, man coverage underneath, and there was nowhere. Jackson was trying to look to his right, see the double move combination. There's nobody there. It may be difficult to get vertical here. You're going to have to stay in the middle of the field, maybe in behind the linebackers.
Second down and 8. And Jackson facing a four-man rush, flush out of the pocket, escapes a sack and throws out of the sidelines. And a late flag comes in at the tail end of the play.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty.
Huge.
Automatic.
What a critical mistake made by Kevontae Wells. This play had no chance of succeeding.
Yeah, he was just getting it across the line of scrimmage because he was outside the tackle box and throwing the football away. Instead, it's going to be 15 yards, automatic first down, stops the clock.
If you're the Warhawks here, you have a chance to get off the field on defense, maybe set up a short field for your offense. Instead, the 15-yard penalty keeps the drive moving. Jackson steps up, and Jackson takes a shot. Got hit from behind by Billy Pullen.
He was stopping to get forward. And got to wait and get your players back on your side of the ball here. A lot of time coming off this clock on second down.
Second down and 9. Jackson facing the rush. Jackson takes another shot. Able to break out of the initial tackle. Pullen, though, brings him down again. And it is third down and 11 coming up.
Yeah, I don't know that you go hurry here. You might let some time go off right here. Your receivers have run vertical routes. The entire group has got to be winded here. They've been down the field 3 times, and you've had pressure. Yeah, I'd like this play.
Well, this has been one of the most well-played halves of defense ULM has pieced together this year. During this losing streak, as G.J. Kenny calls for timeout, the Warhawks are giving up nearly 35 points a game, facing a terrific offense in Texas State, yet the Bobcats don't look like themselves right now.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get any kind of rhythm. It starts with not being able to establish a great running game. And when you don't have a running game where you've got to get 6, 7 guys in the box to stop it, you can do what ULM has played. They have played a man underneath with a couple of free safeties this entire half. There has been nothing deep down the field. And sometimes to fight that, you have to get in the seams behind the linebackers. But he hadn't had time, has Jackson, to get to those receivers because of the pressure.
So Texas State calling for the timeout. They are out of them. 25 seconds to go in the half. If you're thinking about field goal range, Tyler Robles' long this year is 50. And that would require the 32-yard line, give or take, in ULM territory. Right now they're backed up with their own 31.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw play, run the ball here.
Jackson steps up, and Jackson takes another hit. Initial contact came from Wells, got pulled down at the 33. And that might do it with the first half here in San Marcos.
Call a timeout and force a punt, or you can let the clock run out. They're going to take it to the half in what is a 3-0 ball game, and what a performance. Oh, they did take a timeout.
Fleming's the tackle there for the Warhawks, the best tackler on the team. G.J. Kenny, very complimentary of the linebacking core, saying they're playing at a power 4 level. And the front 7 for ULM, the linebackers, the front 4, again playing some extremely sound football in this first half.
Yeah, they've gotten pressure. Just Jackson has been running for his life the entire first half.
And credit defensive coordinator Ernest Till for ULM piecing together a great game plan. And out comes David Nunez to punt it away. Rush is coming. Nunez gets it away. And Godfrey, the fair catch with 4 seconds to go here in the half.
Well, you call the timeout to make sure they get a good snap, then you can't block it, and they get it off. And Bobcats did all that perfectly.
If you're ULM, if you told the Warhawks coming into the afternoon they wouldn't score in the first half, they wouldn't take that. If you told them you're down 3 at the break, that they would take.
Absolutely, they would.
One is to assume the Warhawks will play conservatively here. Don't want to risk a turnover or injury with 4 seconds to go, backed up at your own 23. And Armenta will hand it off. And this run across the 30 to the 35 goes Dorian Lewis, and that will end the first half. Keith was a great baseball player in his day. So far, at the end of 2 innings,
it's a 3-run homer.
It's 3-0 Texas State's halftime coverage coming up. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN+. At the half, all defense here at UFCU Stadium with Texas State on top of ULM 3-0. Brent Freeman alongside Keith Moreland. Halftime coverage coming up here on ESPN Plus. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Also be sure to be on the lookout for more coverage of Texas State athletics and the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN Plus, including the upcoming Sun Belt Volleyball Championship and men's and women's basketball this coming week at Texas State Monday and Tuesday. Your score again at the break: Bobcats 3, Warhawks nothing. We'll talk more about the Sun Belt after this from San Marcos. Texas State on top of ULM 3-0 in an extremely low-scoring first half. All defense between the Warhawks and the Bobcats. Let's talk a little bit more about the Sun Belt Conference and the weekly award winners in the SBC, looking at the offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the week. O.J. Arnold had a huge day for the Eagles in their win over Coastal Carolina. Over 300 total yards of offense, 3 total touchdowns. Also threw a touchdown pass in the win over the Chanticleers. Chris Trinidad is part of an ODU shutout victory over Troy. 5 tackles, a couple of sacks, and forced 2 fumbles in the win over the Trojans, and Brandon McAllister tied a Sun Belt record with a 60-yard field goal against Marshall last week in Atlanta, the second longest field goal in the country this year. And now looking at the scores around the Sun Belt Conference this week, and how about JMU with a big win over Washington State earlier today?
Yeah, that is a huge win. It puts them right on the cusp of being that one school that may find their way into college football playoffs. I mean, you look at it, they're 7-0 on the year. Now you look at it, 10-1, I believe, on the regular season after that victory over Washington State. And they are definitely going to represent well, I guess Coastal is a game back, but
JMU has clinched the East. They'll be in the championship game.
Yes, I thought they'd already clinched it, so they'll be in the championship game.
Score good of the half. Texas State 3, ULM nothing. Let's talk college football playoff. We'll do that after this from UFCU Stadium. At the break here at UFCU Stadium, 3-0. Texas State over ULM with the sun slowly setting here in San Marcos. Keith, let's talk about the college football playoff and the latest rankings released. And you look at the top, what a year it's been for the Big Ten. Ohio State, Indiana coming in at 1-2.
Yeah, you look at that. I mean, Texas A&M obviously with a win today. They have to travel to Texas. Georgia, I think, is a lock. I think those first 6 are locks, no matter how it breaks down. I think after that, Oklahoma with a really big win today against Missouri at home put themselves in a position now at 9-2. They do have to host LSU next week. And the one probably that is surprising to me, Notre Dame 8-2. You know, after going 0-2 to start the season. Now their loss was against number 3 Texas A&M, but they lost to Miami, and Miami's has the same record, and not in that top. It's sort of bothersome to me sometimes when I look at when somebody's beat somebody that's on that deal and has the same record. How does that guy get in and I'm not?
Well, speaking of Miami and the college football playoff bracket, look at it according to the current rankings, and right now the Group of 5 rep would be Tulane out of the American.
Yeah, and that's a little surprising to me. If James Madison takes care of business and wins out, I think they've got a tremendous argument to be that representative. That's just my opinion, but you know, my opinion doesn't matter.
And the teams that we're going to buy currently: Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Indiana. Coming up next, we'll talk more about the first half between these two, with the Bobcats on top of the Warhawks 3-0. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN+. We are moments away from the start of the second half. Texas State nursing a 3-0 lead, all defense in the first 30 minutes here at UFCU Stadium. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth alongside Keith Moreland. I'm Brent Freeman, and Texas State coming off a 41-point explosion. I think a lot of expectations were the Bobcats would go off offensively again, but ULM's defense up to the task.
Well, they've been outstanding in this first half. It starts early where they almost got a safety and scored on the defensive side of the ball, but they didn't get that done. But they've kept the Bobcats from getting their rhythm in their offense. This is the play right here. Lincoln Perry just got the football back across the end line to keep it from being a safety, and then Texas State's driving, and they come up with a pick. They only turn over the half, but they take points off the board for the Bobcats.
Now, Texas State, the only points they got came on this drive engineered by Brad Jackson, his favorite target, Bo Sparks.
Yeah, Bo Sparks, and that Bo Sparks put him over 1,000 yards for the season, and then gets outside here to Lincoln Perry where they start back down the field. They get stopped, and then the safety blitz right here was a major part, took the opportunity for ULM to get on the board, off of the board.
And Texas State's defense pitching a shutout in the first half against ULM. As we get ready for the start of the third quarter, the Warhawks will be on offense first. ULM trying to end a 6-game losing streak. Their last win, September 27th against Arkansas State. They gave the Warhawks a 3-1 record. But again, 6 straight defeats since the latest last week against South Alabama, taking ULM out of bowl contention. But tonight, they can play the role of spoiler. With a win by ULM, that would then take Texas State out of bowl contention.
Absolutely. You know, and they have played hard. They have played outstanding defense against one of the better offenses in the Sun Belt in Texas State. So see if they can get something going here on this first drive. Here in the second half, it's a gorgeous evening. It is basically a nothing ball game, 3-0 at this point. Which offense is going to get going?
Michael James will kick off to start the second half. Texas State looking to beat ULM for a third straight time. They've never done that before. And this kick sails into the end zone for a touchback. As you look at the first half numbers, Keith, not a lot of offense for either team, and for ULM, only 69 total yards of offense in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, they tried to establish the running game. They couldn't get that going, and they haven't been able to get vertical in the passing game whatsoever. So they have put themselves also with some negative plays, and that negative plays comes off of that total yards. But that's 69 yards in one half is probably the low point of the year offensively for ULM.
Warhawks had under 200 yards of offense last week, and in the first half today, only 7 yards rushing. Armenta to the air. That pass is caught across the 25 and to about the 28-yard line. Catch is made by Nate Sullivan Jr.
I like the little play action. Get out in the flat. Now wholesale changes on the offensive side.
Armenta's completion percentage has been great tonight, 10 of 12 passing, but not many downfield shots for ULM. Just 65 yards passing so far for Armenta. And going to hand it off here to Palmer Smith, or to Bibbs on that receiver sweep, and Bibbs is going to lose yardage. Texas State with its 8th tackle for loss in the game.
Oh, they do such a great job in the penetration. They're trying to run a sweep reverse, and when that happens, the penetration forces the runner. You have to give ground to try to get around the corner. When you do, you're going to end up with lost yardage. Now, 3rd and long again.
The Bobcats coming into the game 25th nationally in tackles for loss. And again up to 7, make it 8 tonight. 3rd and 11. ULM 2 for 7 on 3rd downs this evening. Armenta steps up on the run. Armenta with a head-first dive, and they're going to mark him short by about a yard.
Well, he shows you his athleticism right there. He's got good speed as he goes north and south. He dives forward and gets some extra yardage. It is 4th down, but it's 4th and 1. How interesting is this? First possession, second half.
Brian Vincent keeping his offense on the field. This is the first time either team has gone for it on 4th down tonight.
Got to be disciplined. Can't jump off sides here.
Play clock winding down. Arminta. And McReynolds didn't get it. Stopped at the 34-yard line, and Texas State takes over.
Well, that's a great defensive stand right there. That's like forcing a turnover. You know, trying to get your offense going. You got a 4th and 1. Instead, you get that penetration. And just a great job of collapsing, and the defense gets a stop.
Jordan Sanders, Kennard Snyder, Terrence Cooks on the stop for Texas State. And a turnover on downs. And the Bobcats have their best starting field position of the game. Again, in the first half, Texas State failed to win the field position battle. Their average starting spot was their own 22. Now they take over at the ULM 34.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of this and find a way to come away with a touchdown.
Brad Jackson, 16 of 22 in the first half. Off the play fake, Jackson steps up, runs right into the waiting arms of Kevonte Wells, who's had a very good game tonight for the Warhawks.
No, he has had an outstanding game, but you got to give a lot of credit to this secondary as Jackson has gone back and he is set right here. Get the ball out, but there's nobody to go to. There's great coverage down the field, and he had to put it down.
Sets up 2nd down and 10. Bobcats have been such a great running team this year, but held to 31 yards rushing in the first half. They'll put it on the ground here to Burrell, one of the better runs of the night for Texas State. That's good for 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, a little sprint draw that time. Just got him into the secondary and the first down going quickly.
No huddle offense. Jackson hands to Burrell again, and Burrell gang tackle to the 20. Picks up 3, 2nd and 7. This Texas State's first second half possession of the game.
And they are going rapid fire.
Up-tempo offense here for the Bobcats. Burrell looking for a hole off the left side. And second effort will churn out maybe a yard. And it's pulling on the tackle for ULM. Quickly 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, another big 3rd down here. See what they go to this time. Slowing it down a little bit. Drawing single coverage at the top of your screen. See if they don't go that direction. Sparks comes that way in motion.
Texas State 3 and 9 on 3rd down tonight. Pass rush coming. Jackson out of the pocket, steps up to run. And Jackson inside the 5 he goes, and all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's that extra dimension that Brad Jackson brings to the table as he's able to see a divide in the defense, and when he does see it, he accelerates, uses his speed to get into the end zone. You can see right here, he feels it, he breaks to the right, and he sees it right here. It's when he puts it down and takes it home.
12th rushing touchdown of the season for Jackson. And that the first touchdown of the game. Who had that on their bingo card at the 11-10 mark of the 3rd quarter? The Bobcats capitalize the turnover on downs. Navigate a short 34 yards to take a 10-0 lead over the Warhawks. Bobcats on top 10-0 on the short drive. 5 plays, 34 yards, a minute 48, ending on this touchdown run from Brad Jackson.
Yeah, you see him when he steps out and he just uses his feet, does a great job of finishing right there to get into the end zone and get to the outside, and finally culminating in our first touchdown of the game with 11:10 to go here in the third quarter, in a game that you and I both thought coming into the game that this game could get into the mid-30s. Doesn't look that way right now.
Brian Vincent gambling on the 4th down try on his own 34-yard line. Can't convert. Texas State able to take advantage. And James with the deep kick. And again, that'll land into the end zone for a touchback. Only a 2-score game. Plenty of time here for the Warhawks, but you just get the sense a team that's being shut out right now don't want the game to get away if Texas State, in fact, offensively is going to find its footing. There needs to be a sense of urgency you feel on this drive.
And what they want to do is run the ball, so they can still run it. They would love to get the running game going. This defense has just stopped the running game all night.
ULM has run the ball 17 times for 13 yards so far in the game. After the turnover on downs, Arminta steps up. First deep ball of the night, and that sails incomplete down the sidelines.
Well, they found single coverage. He went to the right guy, just a little bit overthrown and to the outside. And now it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Greg Royal Jr. in on coverage on that deep ball for Javon Campbell.
Not enough space for Campbell to make a move to the football.
2nd down and 10. Here comes a blitz. Arminta's pass is caught at a 1st down and then some across the 40. And that's Bibbs. One of the bigger plays ULM has had tonight.
Well, they caught Texas State in a blitz, and a great call to the blitz, coming to inside seam and man coverage. And he was a broken tackle to taking that to the house. There is a player down.
It's Ryan Nolan down for the Bobcats, one of their leaders on the defense. An injury stoppage here in San Marcos with the Bobcats on top 10-0 early in the 3rd at UFCU Stadium. Right now, the training staff looking at Ryan Nolan, the 2nd leading tackler on the team. Just made this last stop of Jonathan Bibbs and came up awkwardly afterwards.
Yeah, he comes in. You can see him coming from the inside right there. Just right shoulder. I hate to speculate, but the shoulder is what they were working on. He's going to make his way down to the medical tent.
Coach Kenny has talked very highly about his secondary, namely Ryan Nolan, playing at a very high level this year. Recently surpassed 100 career tackles at Texas State. Big part of the success leading to a bowl win a year ago. Trying to help lead this team to a bowl game again this year as Arminta is back to pass. Swings that to Palmer Smith. Makes one man miss in the open field. And the Palmer Smith out of the Texas State sideline and close to another first down.
It's just hard to get it back out in the open. He's going to make one move, does a nice job, and gets it upfield. And by far the most consistent drive we've seen tonight. ULM.
Back-to-back passing plays of 28 yards for Aiden Arminta. Now 12 of 15 passing for the game. Second down and 2. Palmer Smith up the middle. Makes a couple of tackles. And it's James Minot who brings him down to the 40. That'll move the chains again for the Warhawks. Fifth play of the drive coming up.
Yeah, I got a good block right at the point of attack and got it downfield for the first down.
Warhawks trying to respond after the Texas State touchdown. The first one of the night. This was a 3-0 game at halftime. But now 2-possession lead for the Bobcats. A team trying to keep its bowl hopes alive. First and 10. Arminta pumps, throws, sidearm toss is caught. And another first down. This time it's Coulter to move the chains.
Really nice play fake. They were going to go early. Guys are falling down. They want to go hurry. We'll get to the line of scrimmage.
13th completion of the night for Arminta. First down play. Here's a run for about 3 yards for the Warhawks. Palmer Smith on the carry. It's been a split between he and Braylon McReynolds so far tonight.
Pretty good balance on this drive. A lot of changes again for both sides. They've really spaced the tempo. They've gone fast a couple of times and then they've slowed it down here for this play.
This has been the longest drive of the game for the Warhawks. It's covered 52 yards. At the Texas State 27, it's McReynolds. And McReynolds close to the sticks, about a yard shy at the 17.
Good blocking up front, and they go quickly here on a 3rd and 1.
It's the Warhawks going up tempo now as Arminta hands McReynolds again, and he's got the first down. The question is right now, Keith, can the Warhawks capitalize here in the red zone? And we capitalize, not a field goal.
Yeah, they need a touchdown, and they're going quickly. They're in full NASCAR.
Aiming to mark of the 3rd. McReynolds looking for some space and stopped at the line of scrimmage. ULM's red zone offense, the 5th worst in the country, scoring under 70% of the time.
Yeah, I saw that this week studying, and I had to go back and look at it again. I went to conference stats just to make sure it was right.
Double checked, triple checked.
Yeah.
Not a number a team would boast about. Drive has also consumed some clock here for the Warhawks, keeping that Texas State offense on the sidelines. Halfway point of the 3rd. Second down and 10. Arminta hands off to Palmer Smith, and Palmer Smith breaking into the end zone for the ULM touchdown.
Well, that was just an outstanding drive. They came out, they were very balanced, running it, throwing it, a lot of different things, and outstanding drive, and go right down and cut this and make it a 1-possession game, a 3-point game with an extra point pending.
For either team, that the best drive of the night. 10 plays, 75 yards for the Warhawks. 3rd rushing touchdown of the year for Zach Palmer Smith. And once again, it's a 1-possession game. Jacob Chambliss on for the point after. And it's 10-7. Zach Palmer Smith, the former Richmond Spider, in his first year at ULM, has cut the Bobcat lead down to 3. Texas State 10, ULM 7 in the third quarter on ESPN+. Tonight, 10 plays, 75 yards in about 4 minutes. 14-yard touchdown run from Zach Palmer-Smith, looking at the Sun Belt Conference West Division and the race for the division title, and looking to rep the West in the upcoming Sun Belt Championship game. Southern Miss with a one-game lead over Troy. The Trojans sitting at 4-2. The Golden Eagles, of course, lost to the Bobcats last week. And Louisiana on a Thursday night with a big win against Arkansas State, derailing the Red Wolves' hopes of getting to the title game.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. There's a lot of things. Not sure what's going to happen in that side. We know who the winner is in the East.
James Madison to the Dukes, another win today in a non-conference game at home against Washington State. James Madison 11-1, or 10-1 rather, on the year now. Only setback coming at Louisville. Short kick. And a fair catch made inside of the 30-yard line by Kylan Evans. Well, Keith, we didn't see any touchdowns in the first half, and now we've had back-to-back possessions with trips to the end zone.
For the Bobcats, short field, put it in, did a nice job. Excellent drive, 75-yard drive for ULM. Warhawks have got themselves in position now. If they can get a stop, they can go try to take their first lead of the night. On the other side, see if they can get the running game going. Bobcats would like to be balanced.
First play of the drive coming up for Brad Jackson at Texas State. It's a pass to Bo Sparks, who's gone over 1,000 yards for the season tonight. Got slung out of bounds by David Gotze, who had a pick earlier in the game. 2nd down and 8.
Nice job of coming up the field right there. These guys in the secondary done a nice job of tackling tonight for ULM.
2nd down, 7 to go. Jackson slings that one, caught at the 40-yard line for a first down. Chris Dawn the catch, his 5th tonight.
Dawn with a good route on the outside, sold it to go deep, came back to the football. Helps out Jackson when your receiver's coming back for the ball, enough for the first down.
Been a career year for Dawn, who set a career high in catches and yards. It's a run on first down this time. Stopped at the 45. Perry the carry for Texas State. He's been bottled up tonight, Lincoln Perry. 9 carries, just 25 yards.
Yeah, he's used to finding the end zone on a regular basis. And he has been bottled up.
28th nationally in rushing yards coming in. On 2nd and 5, it's Perry again. And close to another first down right at midfield.
One side, they're going to mock him short. No, one side said it's a first down, and they're going to move the chains.
Now Texas State trying to wear down that front 7 of ULM's, who just played so well tonight. And now Jackson going to the air, and that pass is caught, floated to Dawn, and Ornoe is unable to hold on to that. It's broken up by Esther. 2nd and 10.
Well, Esther closed on it well and got that right hand in there. Dawn didn't secure the football. Now all of a sudden you're behind the chains at 2nd and 10.
Esther's had a whale of a game tonight for the Warhawks.
Played a marvelous game.
Esther, Cavante Wells, Noah Flemings, David Godsey, some of the defenders that have stood out. That pass lasered into Sparks, who spins out of a tackle and down to the 35 for a pick of a 15.
Nice. That's this great rapport between receiver and quarterback. As Jackson gets it, he sees him in the seam and he stops in the seam. Sometimes as a receiver, when you get open, you got to stop in that open spot and allow your quarterback to find you.
1st and 10, Sparks again, and Sparks barrels ahead of the 29. That is the 9th catch of the game for Sparks, who ranks top 10 of the nation in catches this year. Very rhythmic drive so far for Texas State. 8th play coming up.
Great description, exactly.
Starter back at their own 28. Operating for the 29. ULM showing a blitz. They're going to bring it. Jackson steps up out of the pocket, escapes a tackle. Jackson takes off again. Brad Jackson showing off his legs here in the 3rd quarter.
He's just such a dynamic runner. When he gets outside, breaks one tackle, and they're going to go immediately back in here. But when you break the tackle of the corner, there's no support on the outside.
And that screen pass for Dawn read well by ULM. Esther, guess what, makes another tackle for the Warhawks. 2nd and goal coming up from the 9.
Yeah, they lost yardage there. 4 yards on the play now. That's just great defense. That's recognition. Come make that tackle. He was coming to make the tackle before the ball was delivered.
2nd and goal for the 9-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Bobcats trying to piece together 2 straight touchdown drives as Jackson slides to a knee at the 5. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they're going to mark him back at the 6. They didn't give him that last. Even though he went forward with the slide, they marked him at the 6-yard line. So it's 3rd and 6 from the 6.
10th play of the drive, making the 11th coming up. This marks the 23rd drive this season for the Bobcats. That's gone 10 plays or more. And what has been another terrific offensive season for Texas State, putting up more than 30 points per game. Jackson swings out to Perry, breaks out of a tackle, and pirouettes into the end zone for the touchdown.
What a great answer by the Bobcats as they take the ball to answer ULM's outstanding drive right down the field. We've had 3 touchdowns in this 3rd quarter where we had none in the first half. Nice job bailing to the outside. Perry breaks a tackle. He finds the end zone.
And that is the 15th touchdown pass of the season for Brad Jackson. And for the Bobcats, their best drive of the night, 11 plays, 72 yards. And 4 minutes and 3 seconds. The point after from Robles makes it a 10-point game once again, 17-7, Texas State.
Well, it's just a great answer. You come down, all of a sudden it's a 3-point game, and you've got to have an answer. Second half, both these teams have found some rhythm offensively, and that rhythm a lot of times comes from the ability to run the football. And both teams had good running on those drives to go down and score. ULM now with an opportunity here, they've got to go match.
10-point lead for Texas State. A Bobcat team that entered Sun Belt play 3-1, like the Warhawks, and feeling really confident, but then dropped their first 5 Sun Belt games, 4 of those losses by 7 points or less, 2 of them in overtime. And for many teams, that situation is tough to get out of that. But Texas State on the road last week bounced back with a huge win, and their season's still very much alive.
Yeah, they kept their season alive in a difficult place to play, the leader of the West. Southern Miss and found a way to get it done. Good ball game so far. Both these teams have had responses.
Coach Kenny noting there's been no quit or throwing in the towel with this team this year. And the fair catch made. And that'll put the Warhawks at the 25-yard line, down 17-7. Last time the Warhawks were out on offense, Zach Palmer-Smith, the touchdown run. Again, the transfer out of Richmond, the former Spider. And the only other Spiders name I know of in sports, the Cleveland Spiders, old baseball team. Now, Keith, you played baseball back in the day, but not that far back.
No, they were the Indians when I played. Now they're the Guardians. But I didn't play against the Spiders.
Okay.
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Member of the Philadelphia Phillies 1980 World Series championship team. My broadcast partner, Keith Moreland. First and 10, Warhawks to the 25. Armenta will head it off. And a short gain across the 25-yard line for a couple. And that was Palmer-Smith, the carry, second down and 8.
Helmet came off, so you're going to have a change on the defensive front when your helmet leaves. And they want to go quickly, but you got to give a chance for the defensive player to get on the field.
DeBark Woods, the one that checked out for Texas State. Here, look at James Minot. And that Bobcat secondary, which has played very well tonight.
They got a 3-deep zone going on right here. They're playing thirds right now. Manning up underneath.
Second down, 8 to go. Big run. Palmer-Smith banging off of tacklers into the secondary before he's tripped up by Crosby. First down, ULM.
Good call against that. They were lined up to play pass defense and didn't have a lot of people in the box. Good call to run the ball right there, and then a good run to go with it.
And a 14 for Zach Palmer-Smith. Talked about that Texas State secondary. Haven't seen Ryan Nolan return onto the field yet. Saw him leave the game with an apparent shoulder injury earlier. And this first down run into the tackle. Actually, there is Ryan Nolan back into the game for Texas State. Traylon Payne on that tackle. A loss back at the 39.
Well, they got great penetration and into the backfield, and that play was disrupted from the very beginning. It was an influence play where you influence one of the defensive linemen to go one direction. Well, he came straight to the running back.
Final minute 40 of the third. After no touchdowns in the first half, we've seen 3 straight touchdown drives. ULM trying to make it 4 in a row and make this a one-possession game again. Off the play fake, Armenta harassed out of the pocket by Payne, and we'll sail that towards the stands.
Yeah, that might be a football that goes missing. Because it made its way to the stands.
No, don't throw it back.
Oh, they throw it. Oh, man.
Oh.
That's a nice fan right there. You make a catch in the stands, I think it's a keeper.
Yes.
Huge play right here. ULM would like to answer, keep some momentum. If you get a stop here, Bobcats can really separate themselves in the ballgame.
The Warhawks coming into the game have had 3 third down conversions all season. 3rd and 11, and the Warhawks won't pick it up. A run to the 45, and that's it for McReynolds. 4th down, ULM.
Well, the question is, you got good yardage there, 6-7 yards, so it's making it a 4th and 5. Went for it earlier in this half on the first possession of the second half. Much deeper in your end of the field, but it looks like they're going to punt this one away.
Yeah, the way Texas State's offense is playing right now, you cannot give the Bobcats the football at the 45 on your own end of the field, and they'll punt it away. Try to play the field position game. Here's Mackenzie Ryan, busy first half.
I would look for a fake, though.
Not so busy in the second. Texas State looks to be in punt safe, and Coach Kenny will call for a timeout.
Yeah, I think this is a really good timeout, just to make sure that you're in punt safe defense and you're watching for what's going on, trying to avoid giving up a fake.
Timeout comes with 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. They're a look at G.J. Kenny, 3rd season at Texas State, 4th year overall as the head coach. In 50 football games, he has won 32 of them. Back-to-back 8-win seasons in his first 2 years at Texas State. That one remarkable year at Incarnate Word before taking over as Bobcats head coach. And ULM out of the timeout, still punting here. Sparks a dangerous return man. And Ryan will punt it in his direction, but it sails over his head. Bounces, and the Warhawks will down it at the 4.
Well, it's been a great night punting. That's just the 4th time they have backed up the Bobcats around the 10-yard line. This one's going to be at the 5.
That was the 7th, making the 6th punt of the night for Ryan. 5 of them have been pinned inside the 20.
Yeah, it's just an incredible number. He has had a great night.
So the Bobcats have had drives start at the 3, the 7, their own 17 3 times, and now their own 5-yard line. Jackson's going to hand it off to Burrell, and Greg Burrell breaking out of some tackles and takes off. Burrell across the 40-yard line, all the way to the 45.
Just outstanding blocking up front. Burrell does a great job of weaving through defenders, getting the ball all the way out. Don't have to snap it. That'll be the end of the third quarter.
A gain of 42 yards, ends quarter number 3. 15 minutes to go at UFCU Stadium. Texas State 17, ULM 7. After a rough offensive first half, these two teams finding pay dirt a few times in the third quarter. Both offenses getting into a rhythm. And it's the Bobcats on top going into the 4th over the Warhawks by 10. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN+. Back after this from San Marcos. Kenny looking on with his team on top by 10 as we start the fourth quarter. 17-7. Texas State on top, coming off an explosive run from Greg Burrell of 42 yards out of the shadow of the end zone. But here Burrell dropped for a loss. Second down and 13 coming up following the first play of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, nice job coming off the defensive end, coming off the side and coming in down and making the tackle. Pullen does a nice job for the negative play and puts the Bobcats behind the chains.
The Bobcats hold on and beat the Warhawks tonight. They would be in a position to clinch bowl eligibility next week against South Alabama. Swing pass caught by Burrell, and Burrell takes off again, and Burrell, another impressive run, and takes out of the 40-yard line for a first down.
Well, nice catch, and he made one great move. And when he gets to the outside, they're going quickly right back to the line of scrimmage. We see that move right here to get to the outside, get out of bounds.
This drive so far has been all Greg Burrell, the former UNLV running Rebel. First down and 10. Jackson looking left, steps up with pressure coming. The pocket collapses, and Jackson is down at the 41.
Well, linebacker Marcus Ross was coming, and he was coming off the side as a linebacker, and it just disrupted the play. Jackson had no time to stay in the pocket. Once he made the play fake, he was running for his life.
And he's taken a few hits in this game tonight.
Yes, he has.
Second down and 11. Warhawks defensively, 2 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. As Burrell motions out of the backfield, Jackson going to swing that to Dawn on the screen. Slips out of a tackle, and Dawn tripped up inside the 30 for a first down to the 28.
A really well-designed play. It looked like all the momentum and the motion was going to the wide side of the field. Jackson had everything going in motion, turns back, gets us a short side screen, and gets the first down.
A drive that began back at the 5-yard line, now at the ULM 27. On first down, Burrell to the 25 for a couple of yards. Second down and 8.
That was a heck of a drive. Burrell comes out of the game now, but I'm telling you what, he has been ultra important on this drive so far.
Second down, and Jackson's going to keep it. Jackson's run the ball very well here in the second half. Takes a nice shot there, though, and a good tackle by Andre Mack. Third down for Texas State at the ULM 19.
Yeah, and they want to go quickly, right, with the same personnel hurling back to the line of scrimmage.
Third and 2, it's Lincoln Perry, and Perry's got the first down.
This great push by Perry that time. He knew he was going to get contact. He got low, moving those legs and moved the chains.
Texas State ULM meeting with a 22nd time, and it could be the final matchup ever between these two programs. Brief time together in the Southland Conference. They've been locked at the hip in the Sun Belt dating back to 2014. And the Bobcats have won the last 2 over ULM, including a win a year ago in Monroe. On first down, it's Jackson on the quarterback keeper. Now throws out to a wide open Bo Sparks and hauls it in for his 8th touchdown catch of the season.
Well, that's an interesting RPO, I can tell you that. As it looked like, for all intents and purposes, this was a run. And he goes to the outside, and when the corner, watch this, after the play fake, gets to the outside, the corner comes to get him. He sees that, just lays it up. How about that guy there? What a year he's had.
Second touchdown pass of the game for Brad Jackson. And now over 200 yards passing.
I wonder what,
And Sparks has had an affinity for the end zone this year. Of course, had 4 in the season opening win over Eastern Michigan. And Texas State started to pull away from the Warhawks. Bo Sparks providing another spark tonight. Leads the team with 10 catches. His last one good for 6. Bobcats 24, Warhawks 7. 11:30 to go in the fourth quarter on ESPN+. Top of ULM 24-7. 11:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Bobcat head coach G.J. Kinney, less than 12 minutes away perhaps from his 21st win, would tie him with David Bailiff for fourth in team history in the Division I era in wins. And it's only taken him 2+ years to get these 20 victories.
Yeah, he puts himself in a position where it could be a good week leading Thanksgiving week, on a week where all give Thanksgiving for everything. You get Thanksgiving, that maybe if they finish up, a chance to go bowling. And people say, well, going to a bowl, is that important? I tell you what, it's important about it. You got young players. There's a lot of players that don't get the chance to see on the field. Those extra 12, 15 workouts are gigantic for especially young players.
Texas State just reeled off a 95-yard touchdown drive, tied for the longest of the season. Their 11th scoring drive this year, covering 80 yards or more. And the Warhawks down 17 will start at the 25-yard line. And for ULM, the margin for error doesn't exist anymore.
No, there is no margin for error. They've got to score. They've got to speed it up. Probably going to take them out of what they do best, and that's their running game. It's going to fall on having to throw the football. And can you protect? When the defense knows you're going to throw it, they pin their ears back.
It's not a ULM team built to come from behind, as they've struggled offensively all year long. Bobcats have doubled up the Warhawks in total offense tonight. Armenta off the play fake, looking for Nixon. There is a flag thrown back towards the ULM sideline.
I think this is going to be pass interference. Let's see what the call comes up. That's his defensive holding.
Penalty. Automatic. First down.
Before the ball was in the air.
A lot of young fans taking in the game tonight. Starting to get a little late here, though. Sun is setting.
It's going to get a little cooler as the evening sets in. But it's about time. We're in Texas. It doesn't get cool.
It only took the middle of November to get there, but here we are. After the flag, first and 10 for the 35. Armenta rolls, points, looks, and now throws the ball down the field and out of bounds on the sideline.
That's just great coverage. Everybody was matched up vertically down the field, and the tight end, who was out in the flat, you know, you look at Nixon. He actually he thought that he was running. Look at Nixon. They're hung up, so he is no longer a pass receiver. He's trying to protect his quarterback, so that took a receiver totally out of the play.
Only 107 yards passing tonight for Aiden Armenta. Just 82 a week ago. We'll hand it off to here to Zach Palmer-Smith, and Smith finds a hole down the sidelines. He gallops, and Zach Palmer-Smith out at the 35-yard line.
No, they're saying that he got it all the way down to the 35. Boy, he was close to getting out of bounds before that, but tight-roped the sidelines, and a good running play. And now in Bobcat territory here.
In fact, they'll give him they'll will mark at the 36. Dorian Lewis into the backfield here for the Warhawks. Spelling Palmer-Smith, who's up to 72 yards on the night, been featured a lot in the second half for the Warhawks. Lewis in motion, and they're going to flip it. An inside little jet sweep there for Jonathan Bibbs, and Bibbs will carry that for 6 yards.
Yeah, a little bit of a reverse, caught Bobcats in a blitz. It's a good call, just lost its footing.
2nd and 4, Armenta hurries up the line, hands off to Lewis, and Lewis wrapped up inside the 30, short gain. Snyder on the tackle for Texas State, 3rd down and 3.
He did a nice job from the backside, catching up to it. Osel changes offensively.
Traylon Payne rounded on the stop there for Texas State. Payne a team-high 7 tackles tonight for the Bobcats.
That's a running down most of the time for ULM. See what they do here.
3rd down and 3. Armenta off the play fake. Throws that off the hands of his intended target, the tight end, Sullivan. Incomplete, 4th down.
Well, the pressure, it's just about getting pressure. And Evans, excuse me, not Evans, but Alexander was in his face, both wear number 2. And that just, it just throws the timing off when you got a defender right there forcing you to get rid of it before you set your feet. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, ULM running short on time, down 3 possessions under 10 minutes to go. And the offense stays in the field. This will mark the 2nd time ULM has gone for it on 4th down. Unsuccessful the first time they tried. That was early in the 3rd, and a timeout taken by Brian Vincent.
Well, to avoid the flag, they call the timeout. As the flag went in the air as soon as we saw the timeout from the back judge for delay of game. And
we'll step aside. Huge 4th down coming up for the Warhawks. Trying to stay in the game. Looking at 4th and 3, trailing by 17. Texas State trying to join the ranks of the Sun Belt's bowl-eligible teams. To do that, the Bobcats have to win out on top here, 24-7. 9:40 to go in the 4th quarter. 5 teams already eligible in the conference. JMU, Southern Miss, Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina. They've all clinched bowl eligibility along with the Troy Trojans. The Bobcats sitting on 4 wins. They need 2 more with 2 games to go. And the defense looking for a huge stop out of the timeout. ULM staring at 4th and 3, trailing 24-7. Arminta with a blitz coming. Swings it out. McReynolds looking to make a move, and McReynolds has got the 1st down. And that will quiet the crowd and keep the drive moving for the Warhawks.
Well, nice job of being patient as a quarterback. And saw all that pressure coming and everything. He just steps and gets it out to the side and drops it down, and in a good run after the catch gets the 1st down.
A lot of safe underneath throws tonight for Arminta. That one, though, keeps the drive moving. 1st down to the Texas State 25. Another blitz coming. Arminta will hand it off. And it's McReynolds to the 19. Crosby losing his helmet, makes a tackle. 2nd down coming up.
These 2 backs, they like to run it. And they run it regular, and both of them finish the running game. They do a good job of making yards after contact.
Warhawks trying to hang around to the game. Trail by just 3 at halftime, but Texas State pulling away here in the second half. A must-score drive for the Warhawks. Under 9 minutes to play as Armenta will hand it off to Palmer Smith. Tackle short of the 15. Willis on this tackle for Texas State.
They'll go quickly right back to the line of scrimmage here on 3rd and short.
3rd and 1. Bobcats come to the box. It's Palmer Smith for a first down. Payne will drag him down at the 12.
This is an excellent drive. But one thing that you're noticing is that clock is bleeding. When you're down 17.
The Warhawks have already used more than 3 minutes off the clock. And you figure at best after this possession, they'll get the ball maybe twice more. 1st and 10 from the 12. Armenta steps up, gonna run, and Armenta's gonna jog into the end zone for the ULM touchdown.
Well, that's great recognition. He did a nice job. It went max protect, 3 routes. 3 receivers down on routes. Everybody had their back turned. He sees right here. He sees the split, and he turns on the accelerator and gets into the end zone.
Just a 2nd rushing touchdown of the year for Aiden Armenta. And ULM with a pulse here. After the 10-play touchdown drive, 2nd time the Warhawks have gone 75 yards for a score. And here's Chambliss off with the point after. It's been a tough year for ULM kickers. Chambliss trying to make it a 10-point game, and does. Aiden Armenta with a 12-yard touchdown run, and ULM not going away yet. 7:37 left, 24-14. Texas State over ULM. The Warhawks, described by G.J. Kinney, a scrappy team, and that's been the case tonight, hanging around after the last touchdown drive. It's a 10-point game, 7:37 to go, 24-14 Texas State. A look back at the touchdown run from Aiden Armenta.
Yeah, they were bringing 5, and nobody to spy on. He did a nice job when he put it down, and he knew to accelerate, get into the end zone, and keep them very much in the ball game.
I don't know if you caught him there, the tail end of that replay. Armenta with a little wave to the Texas State cheerleaders afterwards.
He was.
I'm sure Keith did that a little bit back in his day.
No, I didn't. No, I played for Coach Roll. There's no way that you were going to recognize anybody.
A dual sports star at the University of Texas in the Longhorns Baseball Hall of Honor. As Texas State's Brad Jackson is ready to take the field. He's been excellent so far in the second half for Texas State.
Oh, he has been. And this is when that running game, which all night, it's been okay. It hasn't been the dynamic running game that we've seen at times from the Bobcats. But this is when you want to run the football and move the chains and run clock. These types of drives.
Jackson over 200 yards passing, 25 completions tonight. Only threw the ball 17 times last week, a season low. Texas State didn't need him as much as they ran the ball well. The defense played complimentary football and went over Southern Miss. They've used his arm a little bit more tonight. Short run from Perry brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they're going to have a 5-man front and a middle linebacker, and they're going to take all the gaps away up front in front of you. So sometimes you have to find a way to get some space.
We've seen this up-tempo offense for the Bobcats all night, but that is not the game plan here for G.J. Kenny. Going to bleed that clock. Next snap will come well inside of 7 minutes to go. ULM does have 2 timeouts left. Down 2 possessions as Jackson hands to Perry again. And Perry making some nice moves here. And second effort, he's close to a first down.
Great vision. And that was made to go outside. It was a counter tray. You're pulling it off guard and tackle out in front. You can see him coming right there, and he feels it, feels the momentum going that way, cuts it back, and makes it a manageable 3rd down here.
And again, the Bobcats are going to salt that clock. The next snap will come just outside of 6 minutes to go in the 4th. It's another run for Perry. And he's got the first down.
What a great job of vision right there. It looked like he was jammed up and just made a little jump step back to his left, found the little seam, and boy, moved the chains. That's at least a couple of minutes off the clock, or a minute and a half.
At what point of your Bryant Vincent do you think about using your timeouts here?
If you get a negative play or a no gain play here on first down, I think you've got to take one.
5.5 to go. As expected, another run. It's Perry off the right side. Lincoln Perry exploding inside of midfield and into ULM territory.
That's just an outstanding run. You would like to go down in bounds, but he was making yardage and just did a nice job of bouncing to the outside. Great blocking up front. See him protect that football. I love wrapping it up right before the contact at the end.
15 carries tonight for Lincoln Perry, the senior. A 4th-year transfer out of Arkansas State, began his career in Jonesboro. Played his high school football not too far outside of Jonesboro in Tennessee. Injured all of 2023, G.J. Kenny's first year.
What a job coming back from that.
And has had a remarkable career at Texas State. He'll take it again on first down, and Perry to the 40-yard line for about 3.
Just his patience right there. He allowed those big fellas to get in front of him. He just sort of slowed down and said, y'all get in front and pave the way. And you can see, watch him wait, pave the way, and then he makes that move and darts in there once those guys get hooked up.
The Bobcats have held on to the ball for about 30 minutes tonight. As they operate here on 2nd down and 7. Perry, nope, but Jackson's going to keep it. Brad Jackson turns on the Jets. And then wisely dives down to stay in bounds. Gave himself up at the 27-yard line.
It wasn't the most signature slide down.
Not exactly.
I mean, the Russian judge gave him a bad number. I can tell you. They were judging this slide. But it accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. He got the first down, protected himself, and the clock is moving.
If ULM were to hold Texas State to a field goal, it would stay a two-possession game, but the important matter right now is that clock. At some point, the Warhawks have got to think about those final 2 timeouts as Perry takes it again and charges down to the 21.
Offensive linemen love this. You can see him right there. Come on, let's go. Those big guys, they know they're going downhill. The defense knows you're running. Offensive linemen low, they get that push. And this is all on the ground right now.
With that run, Texas State up to 200 yards rushing. The 5th time the Warhawks have given up 200 yards or more on the ground.
And the explosive runs, most have been from Jackson.
Second and 3 could be the final play outside of the 2-minute timeout as Perry is wrestled down inside the 15-yard line. A heavy dose of Lincoln Perry on this drive as the Bobcats find themselves in the red zone.
They will not snap it again until we get to the 2-minute timeout. Good blocking, and Perry just finishing. Finishing the game type series, and especially for Lincoln Perry.
2 minutes to go here in San Marcos. The Bobcats looking to keep their bowl hopes alive. On top, 24-14. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN+. Two minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Bobcats on top 24-14. Coming up next for Texas State, they'll take on South Alabama. 2 o'clock kickoff here in San Marcos. The week of Thanksgiving, as the Bobcats hold on tonight, that game would be for bowl eligibility for Texas State. First and 10, Bobcats trying to ice the game on top by 10. Perry driven back for a big loss by Noah Flemings. Back at the 17-yard line.
And then you'll call the timeout. That's exactly what they do. Got one left, but you get the negative play, something they've been looking for this entire drive, and for the first time they get that as Perry tries to get to the outside and take the timeout.
Stops the clock, minute 56 left as ULM calls for time, their second timeout. So the Warhawks will close out the regular season as they always do against rival Louisiana. That game will kick in Lafayette, 2 o'clock next Saturday between the Warhawks and the Ragin' Cajuns, and ULM will have a chance to keep Louisiana from becoming bowl eligible. The Cajuns will enter that game 5-6.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're coming down here to the end. Everything is talking about the playoffs, but there are so many other things that are involved when you get to an end of the season. And those extra workouts and that bowl eligibility is so important. So you know that they would love to spoil that.
Just saw a shot of Brian Vincent on the sideline, ULM's head coach, who is wearing multiple hats this year, as Jackson takes off. And Jackson inside the 10, bolts down to the 7.
Take another timeout here. Just if they can hold this to a field goal, they got a feeling they got a chance. A nice job by Jackson right here. You think he's just going to go to the ground, dives forward, and gets it down to the 7-yard line.
And at the third and final timeout taken by the Warhawks. Mentioned Brian Vincent wearing multiple hats. So he's ULM's head coach and offensive coordinator. Oh, and by the way, he's also ULM's interim athletic director.
Yeah, he's got a full plate right now trying to get everything done. Now, on the other side here, this is just a little bit of a game. If you throw this football right here and it's incomplete, you've stopped the clock because ULM does not have any more timeouts. If you run the ball and you don't get the first down, you can allow the clock to go down another 40 seconds. So it's interesting with the play call right here as you're a head coach. Do we want to go for it and put the ball in the end zone and absolutely end the game no matter what? Or how do you want to play it right here? I think this is an interesting call. I think for me, I think I would run the ball here.
Same. Now, see what the Bobcats do here. 3rd down and 3. They do keep it on the ground. It's Jackson on the run, and Brant Jackson bangs into the end zone for his second touchdown tonight.
Put it into his hands. He's had a great night running the football, and here in this fourth quarter, when you've got to win a ball game, you got to establish the run. That drive, 100%. Every yard was gathered on the ground.
Brad Jackson talked about his ability to be a complete quarterback, the total package, all that total offense we referenced early in the game. And tonight, 289 yards of total offense and has accounted for 4 touchdowns. By the numbers at least, arguably the top redshirt freshman in the country.
I concur.
11-play drive, 72 yards, and most importantly consumes nearly 6 minutes off the clock. And Texas State, after a struggle of a first half, scoring 28 second half points.
Yeah, and all of them ended up with 7. They get it down and get it in the end zone and score touchdowns. That's the other part that's so unique about it is they didn't settle for any field goals. They were very balanced in the second half. And the difference is that young man right there finished it off.
If the Bobcats do in fact go to a bowl game, Jackson has a chance to become the first player in team history with over 4,000 total yards of offense.
That's impressive. And I will guarantee you that Coach Kimmy will talk about too in this game is for the second week in a row, his defense was, they gave up 14 points, okay, but I thought their defense set the tone early in the game, and I think that's a huge difference.
The Bobcats have scored on every possession in the second half. 4 possessions, 4 touchdown drives for Texas State. And James the kickoff, as he's done all night. That'll land in the end zone for a touchback. ULM out of timeouts and running out of time. Down 17 with 1:44 to go. And this will go down as a 7th straight loss for the Warhawks. A very similar script as this team went through a year ago when they started 5-1. Felt like that long bowl drought was going to end. They only needed one more win over the final 6 games, couldn't get it. And they're going to carry a 7-game slide into the finale next week in Lafayette. Armenta on first down, going to swing that out to Lewis up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, got him down inbounds. That's the other thing as a defender right now. You know the sidelines is their friend, so clock will continue to run.
Saw that bowl graphic earlier. 5 Sunbelt teams currently eligible, 3 no longer, as the tight end Nixon takes a big hit there. And making the tackle, Chris Jones, who had that game-sealing pick 6 last week.
He did, but that's a big young man, big tight end he was making that blow against, and took him out, took his pins out for under me with the blow.
Back to pass, Armenta on 3rd and 6, steps up and fires, complete with a nice diving catch made by Trujillo.
It was a great catch. He's down inbounds. They will call timeout to move the chains, and the clock will start running again.
Next week, Sunbelt will have 6 more teams vying for bowl eligibility. As Armenta with the flag in, steps up to run, slides down to midfield. We'll check the marker.
Yeah, it's going to be holding, and this is going to come back.
Personal foul.
That's actually, it's hands to the face.
I will say not all of those 6 teams will make it, though, as you look back at the penalty here against ULM. It looks like you see it right there from Khalil Croswell. Got his hands into the face of Khalil Alexander. So 6 teams will be fighting for bowl eligibility, but there will be 2 games pitting a pair of teams against each other sitting on 5 wins, which means at least 2 are not going to make it. As Armenta steps up, 25 seconds to go, and dances out of bounds.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you get to this time of the year and you look at it. There's 2 ways to look at it. One of those 2 teams is going to get in. You know, it's not going to end in a tie. And the other one is, it's a shame that somebody comes down and they have that fate that one of us is not going to make it.
2nd and 19, Armenta steps up, fires complete. First down for the Warhawks inside of midfield. Catch made by Coulter. And another story to look out for over the Sunbelt's final couple of weeks, the regular season, a championship game. Can JMU win twice more and boost their resume to maybe be the Group of 5 rep in the college football playoff?
I don't know. There's no question, in my opinion, that that committee needs to start looking at them.
Armenta dumps that over the middle. And this will be a first down, so the game's not going to end quite yet as Palmer Smith makes a catch. 5 seconds to go.
They spot the ball, they'll start the clock. This will be the last snap of the game.
What a night for that man right there. Brad Jackson, nearly 300 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. Final play of the game, a third of the end zone, and it falls incomplete. And that's going to do it. A defensive struggle in the first half with the Bobcats offensively unstoppable in the second as they beat the Warhawks 31-14.
Yeah, you mentioned it in that last drive that they scored on every possession of the second half. They got the offense going, and the other part of it is the balance. The ability to run the football in the second half, I think, was the difference in the game.
And the final handshake between Brian Vincent and G.J. Kenny as he picks up win number 21, tied for 4th most in team history at the Division I level. And for the Bobcats, their third straight win over the Warhawks, the first time that's ever happened in the series history between ULM and Texas State. So the Bobcats are going to win tonight, 2 in a row for Texas State after the Bobcats started Sunbelt play 0-5, but again, a team that enjoys when the pressure is on, playing with their backs against the wall. Their season is still alive.
Yeah, they did a nice job. I think last week it sort of ignited them. They went on the road, the best team with the best record in the Western Division of the Sun Belt. They go out, they get a W on the road, sort of sets the tone. They come back home, know they got 2 games, they got to win both of them. Well, they got half of that done right now with the victory tonight.
Well, we know this, Keith. The Bobcats are playing meaningful football the final week of the regular season against South Alabama. Should be a great game next week.
Yeah, you look at South Alabama, and you're not sure what to expect, how they're going to be looking. They may be playing for their head coach, Major Applewhite's tenure there. You know, you never know what's happening right now in college football.
Well, again, Texas State a winner tonight. Big night for Brad Jackson to the offense in the second half as they beat the Warhawks to stay alive for a potential bowl spot. That's going to wrap up our coverage tonight here from San Marcos. The final score in this one, Texas State 31, ULM 14. From my broadcast partner, Keith Moreland, I'm Brent Freeman saying so long from UFCU Stadium. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. From San Marcos, Texas, good night.